Hi, my name is Chloe. I'm an online investigator, or at least trying to be. And I found something weird. I want to share it with you guys and look into what seems to be a hoax. It's called Mowgli's Palace, and there's really only one blog post about it. So we're going to look through it, see if there's any merit to it, and see if it's real at all, or if some bored kid just decided to write up some nightmare fuel for us all to be traumatized by. Cheers. As an intro, this is a blog I stumbled across. I don't remember where, but it's just an empty WordPress blog, well, near empty WordPress blog as far as the information sections. It's just called Abandoned by Disney, which that's ominous enough already. There's no set username or author, it just says admin. So we're going to go through this. I got a friend to dub it over for me and see what's feasible and what isn't, and figure out what we can make of it. Here goes.
Some of you may have heard that the Disney Corporation is responsible for at least one real live ghost town. Disney built the Treasure Island Resort in Baker's Bay in the Bahamas.
Okay, so while the island he's talking about does exist, it's actually called Treasure Cay. We'll get to that in a moment.
It didn't start as a ghost town. Disney's cruise ships would actually stop at the resort and leave tourists there to relax in luxury.
Okay, this is half true. While they were affiliated with Disney, the company that actually built Treasure Cay was Premier Cruises, and Disney Cruises didn't actually exist yet. Premier Cruises was licensed to operate using the Disney name at the time.
This is a fact. Look it up.
As I just said, not quite, and, well, I did.
Disney blew $30 million on the place. Yes, $30 million.
I have looked everywhere. I even tried messaging a documentarian who made a piece about Treasure Cay. I cannot, for the life of me, find where this $30 million number comes from.
And then they abandoned it. Disney blamed the shallow waters, it was too shallow for their ships to safely operate, and there was even blame cast on the workers, saying that since they were from the Bahamas, they were too lazy to work a regular schedule. That's where the factual nature of their story ends. It wasn't because of sand, and obviously it wasn't because foreigners are lazy. Both are convenient excuses. No, I sincerely doubt those reasons were legitimate. Why don't I buy the official story? Because of Mowgli's palace.
Okay, I left this last little section in text. I didn't want to break it up. However, all of this information seems to be coming from an iMockery article, which doesn't really take things too seriously. The original article seems to be making things up and has a lot of biases. For example, the bit about locals being lazy seems just like the author was a bit racist. Additionally, the bit about $30 million, I think genuinely that was pulled out of their ass. I could not find a single solitary source on that, as I mentioned earlier. So, essentially, what actually happened was the contract that Premier Cruises had with the owner of the island had a clause where if 30% of the time it was unsafe to go through the canal that they dredged due to weather conditions like high winds, then they would be able to weasel out of the contract. So after the original CEOs left, the ones that, had their investment and their hearts in this project, then the new ones kind of got a little bit greedy and started sort of incentivizing captains to decide it's not safe more often and therefore skip it, therefore avoiding paying the owner and being able to weasel out of the contract. That's why it closed. Just frankly, good old greed.